Hey everybody, and welcome back to another weekend roundup. Today we're going to take a look at all the mods newly released in the Giants Mod Hub for the week of November 4th through November 8th, 2019. Now this was yet another busy week on the Giants Mod Hub. Last week was kind of a light week, but we are back and at it this week with a bevy of mods that were either updated or newly released. So let's go ahead and jump over to the Mod Hub and take a brief look at all the mods that were both updated and newly released, and then we will once again come back here in the game and then take a look at all of the new mods in a bit more detail. So here we have the Mod Hub, and we started the week out with an update to the reverse speed limiter mod, the quick camera mod, the Dangerville trailer, then also the Super Bison Z056 harvester. We saw newly released the RGB double round bale, basically forks for the 3-point hitch of a tractor. We have the Aggrement VRCG NO12 fertilized spreader. We have the Silky Progress P100 seeder that got newly released. A placeable bowl got released, as well as a Seasons Geo for Romania. Shockingly, this is the only Geo that got released this week. Seems like this is the first week in maybe 5 or 6 weeks where we haven't had multiple Geos get released. We have the LaBauche Goliath manure spreader, the SMS LV 50 or 520T roller got released. We have the Primus Plus 250-300 cultivator, the Volcano Bale shredder. We have the Knack pack. This is also a bale fork. We have added realism for vehicles got released this week. We had a map got released this week, the Bjorn Home map. This is the much bevied map from Farm Sim 15. It was converted to 17 and now has been converted into 19. Mini Brun got an update. Then we have a release of the old style farmhouse with barn attached. Blizzard Round Bale Forks pack was also released, and that is basically the third of a total of 4 different fork packs that got released this week. Let's go ahead and just scroll down here to the bottom of page 1. And we have the Joskin Drakkar 8600 trailer got released, as well as the Flegel TMK 266 bull trailer. We have the Deutzfahr TTV7 series tractor that got released. We have an update to the Agri Bumper by Vertex Design, and this now adds Class DLC support. That's right, you can now get your Agri Bumper on the Class in Class colors. That's pretty cool. Updates to the Torpedo RX 170 tractor, the Utava 12T trailer. We have the Spinter Multi SH. Basically, this is a leveler. We have the Bremer KG 300 cultivator. That's the front cultivator. Also updated, we had the Basel pack. The Rogue River map was updated, as well as Walker Farms got updated. And apparently, this is a rather controversial update because it didn't just add season support or update for the latest seasons. They apparently also removed, apparently in one version there were mountains in the background, and they removed those now on this version of the map here. So apparently they removed these mountains in the background and then just put up a border of trees. That's what I was reading in the forums, and well, there seems to be quite a divide as far as players that either are glad they did that or will refuse to update the map because they just don't want to get rid of the mountains. Then we have the ZTour 12045 and 12145 tractor was newly released. We had a Crucifix prefab get released. Now again, prefab mods are not mods you download and activate and install in game. These are mods that are only to be used in Giants Editor and basically placed into a map via Giants Editor. So we have a Crucifix got released. Then we have a Fendt 800 favorite by Smitty that got released this week. This was one of my favorite tractors in Farm Sim 17, so I'm really excited to take a look at that one. We had updates to the Man TGS 18.500 Kipper. The Limpkin Sapphire 8 Cedar was updated. And then we have the Trillion Farmhouse was released. Marshall VES 2500 Manure Spreader was released. The Arduino pack was updated. We have a DMI Metalworks S101. This is a leveler, was released. Another Bale Fork pack, the Lizard Back Bale Fork, was released. DMI Metalworks Baler Trailer. The Climber 10. This kind of looks like an ATV, but it's actually a little mini mower. And then the MF356 Loader Pack by White Bull Modding got released this week. Let's jump over here and take a look at the forum posting. This is the daily updated thread for mods in testing, and this was updated on Friday, November 8th. And you can see here that we have a fairly short list of mods currently in testing. There's a backlog of 181 mods, and the backlog is currently 9 working days. I was thinking about this earlier this week. A little concerned that we are sitting nearly 200 mods, 9-day working period, and we are in the first week of November. We know Giants is going to take a rather long holiday break toward the end of December into January, and I'm really concerned that this number is just going to climb out of control in 2020 to the point where we're not talking about work days backlog, we're talking about weeks of backlog. I don't know if you guys remember early in 2019 the backlog that we had, but we were talking about months from submission to testing. Not days, not weeks, but we were talking months of backlog. We had a huge number of mods. These guys have worked hard. There have been an incredible amount of mods released in 2019, and yet we still have nearly 181 to be exact, pending testing in a 9-day period. And this number doesn't get much smaller. Mods are flowing in about as fast as they are releasing. So if Giants takes off 3 or 4 weeks, we are going to be back in the probably 20-day period, if not longer, of a backlog, and we're probably going to be seeing something like 400 or 500 mods pending testing by the end of January 2020. That seriously has me concerned. Let's go ahead and jump back over to the game, and let's start taking a look at these mods in a bit more detail. All right, first up, we have the Deutzfahr TTV7 series by STV Modding. This can be found in the medium tractors area. We have the Series 7 TTV. Now, I don't think we have a Deutz Series 7 that is base in game. We have a Deutzfahr 9 series right here, base in game, and I really wish we had a lower series like this one, and maybe one in the small tractors, because I really think these tractors are just vicious looking. Absolutely love the look of these things. Whites, I mean, they just look completely angry. They sound angry, and they look angry, and dagnabbit, I love them exactly for that reason. So let's go ahead and take a look here. We've got the choice of design color. Several different options. It's kind of an interesting color for the Deutz. Let's go here, standard matte. The matte Deutzfahr color. We have the main color we can change. It's going to change the that's going to change the grill there. Kind of an interesting look. Then we have the rim color. There you go. And then we have the choice of Trelleborg in standard wheel weights, wide tires, wide with weights, twin rear tires, twin wheels all around. We go to Michelin standard, wide with weights, Midas, standard, wide, and back to Trelleborg. Then we have design of standard, LED 1, so we get some LED lights, LED 2, some more LED lights, and back to standard. Then we have the engine configuration. 7210 TTV coming in at 224 horsepower. 7230 TTV at 245 horsepower. 7250, 263 horsepower. 225 Warrior. Got the Warrior name here. Let's go ahead and to the Warrior colors. So all black on that. 7250 TTV Warrior, 263 horsepower, and back to the 7210. One more option, we can get a front loader attacher, yes or no. So let's go ahead and lease this thing. As configured, we're at $207,500, $10,582 to lease, $2,075 per day, and $4,357 per operating hour. For this thing, and she is fairly nice. A little bit of a octagon-y shape on the lights there. Do that, but you can see right through the grating. So that's nice to see that it's not just a solid object. Rears are a little bit octagon-y shaped also on the rear lights, but you know what? I have no idea what it would take to make those nice and round, so I'm not going to knock the guy too terrible bad. Let's have a listen to this thing. Inside, we've got an animated foot throttle, and of course steering wheel, brakes, and that's about it. Do have a lit dash. Looks like the buttons do light up also. Take a look on the outside. We have our first stage lights, second stage lights, and then our third stage lights right there. Beacons, we have our flashers. We do have reverse lights. Let's take a look here. We do have apparently mouse controls. Left mouse up and down. Open and close the door. Right mouse button left and right. Opens and closes the sunroof. Guys, there you go. That is the Deutzfahr TTV7 series, again by STV Modding. Next up, we have the ZTour 12045 and 12145 tractor. This is by Castan 18. We're going to find this tractor here under small tractors. So the ZTour, or the ZTour 12145 and 12045, $42,000 here. At a base horsepower of 117 horsepower. Change the rim colors. Whatever we want, we can change the main color to a bevy of red, oranges, and blues. And we can change the design color, which looks like it's going to change the frame and the engine option. And the choice of standard configuration or 20 kilogram front weight. Get some lights on that. Got 200 kilogram front weight, 220 kilogram front weight, 540, 560, and back to standard. The choice of Trelleborg tires with standard wheels, wheel weights, rear twins, twins all around. The choice of Michelin standard, standard with wheel weights, wide tires, wide with weights, rear twins, twin Michelins all around, and Nokian tires in standard, wheel weights, rear twins, twin Nokian tires all around. Don't see that option very often. Inverted, so if you take a look here, we have our standard tire pattern and we have our inverted tire pattern, but only the front tires are being inverted here. It's kind of an interesting, I don't really know what the purpose of flipping that pattern around would be. We have inverted in standard, wheel weights, rear twins, twin inverted fronts and rear standard tires. Back to standard. Then we have fenders of metal. Metal 2, which gets rid of the flaps. And plastic fenders. Engine set up to 12,045, 117 horsepower. The 12,145, which changes the cab quite a bit, and the exhaust. The front gets a completely different redesigned tractor, but still 117 horsepower. So there's the 12,045, and then the 12,145. You can see quite a bit of changes. We can get a front loader attacher, yes or no. So as configured, we are at $44,100 to buy, $2,249 to lease, $441 per day, and $926 per operating hour. Let's take a look at these. Sticker looks pretty good. Bit more round on the headlights than the Deutzfahr, I think. Now the engine is fairly basically modeled. We do have some modeling over here. Over here I just thought it was kind of just a flat texture, but it is modeled to some degree. We do have an animated radiator fan there, so that's good to see. Wondering if those mud flaps are going to be moving. They're also animated. They do flap a bit when you move around. It's pretty cool. Look inside. It doesn't look like we have anything that lights up inside. We have an animated foot throttle and brake. This will be about it. We do have some mouse controls. Left mouse button up and down. See it doing anything. Okay, both mouse buttons up and down. Oh my, that's quick. So left and right will open and close the right door. Both mouse buttons up and down will open and close the left door. And with the left mouse button up and down, I'm not seeing it do anything. Maybe it does something with the other cab. I just don't see with this particular cab. Check the lights. We have first stage lights, second stage lights, and then third stage lights. Four-way flashers. We don't have any hazard lights. Brake lights. There you go. That is the ZTour 12,045 and 12,145 tractor from Castan 18. Next up, we have the Fendt 800 Favorite by Smitty. This is going to be found under large tractors. Scrolling over here, we have, of course, the Fendt 900 Vario in this category. And then we have the 1000 Vario in this category. 900 Vario MT, 1100 MT, and then we have the older model 800 Favorite, $163,200 to buy. A choice of rim color, a choice of main color, and then we have the choice of design color. Chrome exhaust or black. Let's go chrome that thing up. And then we have Trelleborg in standard. Wheel weights, wide tires, wide with weights, arrows, and oh my pity. I just really don't like these pencil narrow tires. If they were about, I don't know, another half again wider, they wouldn't look so pitiful on these things. I mean, they got these massive wheel wells, fenders, if you will. Then these little pencil-necked narrow tires. But anyway, it's European, I'm sure. We just don't see this in America. Rear twins all around. Back to standard. Let's go to Nokian tires. Back to Trelleborg. We have rear mud guards, yes or no. So it takes the side in wide, yes or no. Front fenders, yes or no. Attachers, we have a 1,600 kilogram front weight. We have a front loader attacher, or not front loader, but we have a front attacher, 3-point and PTO. We have 1,600 kilogram front weight. And an 816 turbo shift, 165 horsepower. 818 at 180 horsepower. 820 at 200 horsepower. 824 at 240 horsepower. Back to the 816 at 165. Then we can get this with a front loader attacher, should we so wish. So as configured, we are at $208,700, $10,643 lease, $8,087 per day, and $4,382 per operating hour. Let's take a look at this. We have the mesh in the front and in the mesh in the sides. It does look like we can see through the side mesh also. Definitely see through the side mesh, so that's pretty cool. Tractor's kind of already beat up. It's kind of nice to see. You wouldn't see this tractor 100% pristine in nature. Take a look on the inside. Dash lights light up when you turn it on. You got a nice illuminated dash. You can't tell because it's daylight if the side lights up. The top lights up for sure. As animations go, we do have an animated foot throttle. Not a lot of animations, but it does move as well as the brakes. All I'm seeing that's moving in here other than the steering wheel. Not have any sort of mouse controls. We have our first stage lights, second stage lights, and then third stage lights. Let's take a look at the beacons. 4 ways. The right flashers. No backup lights, but we do have brake lights. Guys, that is the Fendt 800 favorite, whatever you want to call it, by Smitty. This mod is available for all platforms. Guess I should say it, probably didn't say it, but the ZTour is also available for all platforms, as is the Deutzfahr. Next up, we have the Climber 10 by FA28 5634. Find this one under Metalworks. So we have the Big M, which is a 9.9 meter mower, $380,000. Or you could go with the Climber 10 for just $12,000. So it's got a pretty narrow working width, but still, it's a lot cheaper. So, you could buy more of these. Save them up. Save up your money. This mod is available for all platforms. There you go. We can change the main color. This to whatever we want. Go with the Deutzfahr green. Well, we can go, there it is, Deutzfahr green. $13,000 once we repaint it. $663 to lease. $130 per day and $273 per operating hour. Look at this little thing. A little old riding mower. Hop on in. First person perspective. Looks like my legs might be just a little bit too big. Warping through the steering wheel. Quite holding on to the wheel either, but okay. Let's drive this thing down here to a grass field that I have. And you can zoom way out with this thing. This thing does allow you to have quite the camera distance. Something else to note is that we show diesel fuel and DEF, a liquid here, in the fill types area. Typically we wouldn't see that in the fill types, so we just have fuel gauge. Not sure what's up with that, why that's showing the way it is. At any rate, we are. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Drop the mower down, and off we go. Cutting our grass at a whopping 15 miles per hour. Kicking up dust. I don't know how we can see through all that dust that we're kicking. Do have a backup beeper. This thing just jackrabbits off the line after backing up. There you go, guys. That is the Climber 10. Once again by FA285634. This mod is available for all platforms. Last vehicle we're going to take a look at this week is the Massey Ferguson 356 loader pack by White Bull Modding. And once again, this mod is also available for all platforms. We're going to find this under skid steer loaders. So we have the New Holland loaders, which are base in-game 35,000 and 49,000 respectively. 61 horsepower, 74 horsepower, and then the Massey Ferguson 356 at 56 horsepower and only $5,900. This thing costs $300 to lease, $59 per day, and $123 per operating hour. We do not have any sort of configuration options on this. And then let's go over here to skid steer loader, and we'll take a look at the tools. So this comes with a pallet fork for $200. Can change the main color of the pallet fork, which is kind of interesting given the fact that we can't change the color of the skid steer loader. $10 to lease, 2 per day, and 4 per hour. We have the universal shovel. You can once again change the color on. Holds 1,500 liters of capacity. $400 to buy, $20 per day, 4 per day, or $20 total to lease, 4 per day and 8 per hour. And then we have a weight to go on the back. This does not appear to have any sort of power connections. We do have some lights on the back. $200 to buy this. We cannot change color, just like we can't change the color of the loader. $10 to lease, 2 per day, and 4 per hour. This came out kind of late in the Farm Sim 7 product cycle, so glad to see it coming out here as we are approaching our 1-year anniversary of Farm Sim 19. I got to look back and figure out when Farm Sim 19 came out, but I think it was in a couple weeks. Do something special in a couple weeks for the 1-year anniversary weekend roundup. Maybe not. I'm not sure. So here we have our front loader, skid steer loader with our pallet forks. These are some big, long pallet forks. This is a really simple device. I mean, it really looks like it's a tractor that's been put in reverse as far as the cab and the transmission goes. We do have some animated gauges. We do not have any sort of animated lid gauges. Doesn't look like we have anything else animated in here other than the steering wheel. Drop that off. On our way back, let's check our lights. First stage lights, second and third stage lights. We do have our beacon. Boy, is that thing belching out black exhaust. That is a big old bucket. This thing. Raise it up like this. We tilt it. Looks like it's basically a bucket that's been loaded into some pallet forks. Right mouse button, then dump it like that. So we could scoop it and then dump it normal, or we could scoop up our product, if you will, like this, and dump it like that. Should we so wish? And if we back this up, connect that, you can see the rear is squat when that weight comes on. It's a fairly substantial weight. It does replicate the brake lights and the blinkers that are on the main skid steer loader. Now the rear hitch does work. So if you wish to haul a trailer around the yard, go ahead and do so with this rear pin hitch also. Yes, that is the Massey Ferguson 356 loader pack by White Bull Modding, and again, that mod is available for all platforms. Next up, we're going to take a look at the 4-pack of Bale forks that came out this week. That's right, there's a total of 4 different Bale fork mods that came out this week. First up, we have the Poco Plus RGB Double by BM Modding. This mod is available for PC only. Let's go ahead and take a look here under Baling Technologies. Here we have the Poco Plus RGB Double for $2,000. Have the choice of main color. Change the main color on that, and basically it's just a 2 bale fork that attaches to a 3-point hitch. $2,000 to buy, $102 to lease, $20 per day, and $42 per operating hour. Let's go and hop in our Fendt. What else would we pick to demonstrate this bale fork? Real simple, we'll just come up here. We'll hook up to it with our rear 3-point. So, and with that attached, we can raise and lower it, we can tilt it, hit V to lower it to the ground. Suppose we could then go back up underneath the bale, pick it up, go get our other round bale. This does have a strap option, so we can indeed strap the bales down. And basically we just haul the bales where we need them, lower this down to the ground, and hopefully we can just drive away with the bales staying on the ground. I don't have any round bales here to demonstrate with, so we're just going to leave it at that. Real quick, real simple. It is the Poco Plus RGB think it may have said RGB, but that is RBG double by BM Modding. Next up, we have the Gnac Pack, GNACKE Pack by Dutch Modding Inc. This mod is also available for PC only. It is, of course, another Bale fork. We're going to find it here under Bale Technologies. Here we have the Gnac Pack Single, Gnac Pack Duo. Okay. Gnac Pack Single is a single round Bale fork. Once again, attaches to the 3-point. $2,250 to buy, $114 to lease, $22 per day, and $47 per operating hour. Then we have the Duo, which is the Duo version of that. $3,500 to buy, $178 to lease, $35 per day, and $73 per operating hour. But the connector is on the other side for this one. Let's attach Duo to the double to the rear, single Bale fork to the front. So, fold the Bale fork. That. Of course, we can up, down, tilt it, V to lower it. This one goes down a lot lower to the ground than did. There we go. Pick it up. Go back to the other one. We can lower it to the ground. That did also. And what's cool about these is you can fold them up if you are done working with them. As the forks aren't sticking way out. There you go. That is the Gnac Pack by Dutch Modding Inc. And again, this is for PC only. Go ahead and drop these off and take a look at our third Bale fork pack this week. We have the Lizard Round Bale Forks Pack by Fabian and Go-Go Bear. Now this one is available for all platforms. So if we take a look here, once again under Bale Technologies, we have the Lizard Round Bale Forks Pack. So we have the 1 Bale fork, the 2 Bale fork, and the 4 Bale fork. Okay. So as you might expect by the name, 1 all 1 Bale fork. This one does have hose hookups. It's nice to see. See the cylinder, but at any rate, we have a choice of main color. Various reds, greens, and grays. Then we have design 1 or design 2. It just changes the 3-point connector options. It adds some balls there on the end. So it's $1,500 to buy, $76 lease, $15 per day, and $31 per operating hour. Then we have the 2 Bale fork. So it's 2 round bales side by side with a arm that closes down on them. Hoses, we have power leads. It's nice to see. Change the colors on this. $1,800 to buy, $91 to lease, $18 per day, and $37 per operating hour. Finally, we have a 4 for $23,000. Once again, change color to whatever you want. And this one's designed to hold 4 round bales. So, get the 4 on the back. There we go. And if we unfold it, see the frame raises up on that little hydraulic cylinder. Lower it down then, and then we can just back up underneath the bale or some other sort of front loader, wheel loader, skid steer with forks to place the bale on there. Then when we're done, we fold it back up. In theory, strap them down. Let's do work. Then on the front, fold it, the bale down on the ground, forks down on the ground, kind of slide up underneath the bale we want to pick up, raise it up, lower that down, and off we go to the races. That is the 1 and the 4 in the Lizard Round Bale Forks pack. Let's take a look at the 2 Same general principle as the 1 and 4 versions, but we can unfold it to raise and lower the support structure. To have strap capability on this, brake lights and 4-way flashers extending on the back of this. Of course, it's designed to haul 2 bales at a time. Guys, that again is the Lizard Round Bale Forks pack by Fabian and Go-Go Bear. This one is available for all platforms. And then finally, we have the Lizard Back Bale Fork by ETA My Choice. This mod is also available for all platforms, and that's right, it's going to be under Baling Technologies. The rear bale fork, $740, and we can get this standard or with a trailer hitch. So with the trailer hitch, we're talking $838 to buy, $42 to lease, and 8 per day, 17 per hour. It's designed to connect to, again, a 3-point. Connect that to rear or the front. Of course, if we connect it to the front, then the hitch will be on the front. As opposed to the rear, we can unfold it with the X button. So the spears come down, and then the bolts, the retaining bolts, pop in both positions. So, lower it with V, and we can raise and lower the whole contraption with the left mouse button up and down, left mouse button left and right. Angle it, so. And of course, the whole premise is that you're going to be able to back up to a bale, raise it up, and drive off. Quick and convenience. Really not going to be stacking these bales in this. All you want to do is just move them around. Easily be able to do that. And then when you are done moving them around, you can fold it up, leave it attached, and basically now you have a ballpoint trailer hitch on the back of your tractor and your forks. Still haul the trailer around, should you so wish. That is, again, the Lizard Back Bale Fork by ETA My Choice, and it is also available for all platforms. Now we are moving into our other implements. We have the DMI Metalworks S101 Leveler. This is by Dutch Modding Inc. and is available for all platforms. So we go to Tools and then Levelers. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to find the DMI Metalworks S101, $2,000, 2.2 meter working width. So it is the cheapest leveler in the stable. A little bit more narrow than the Dusseldorf leveler. Choice of main color: black, red, or green. Does not change the price. $102 to lease, 20 per day and 42 per operating hour. Here's our tractor. Pictures on the Mod Hub show this on the front of the tractor, and then the tractor is hauling a silage trailer. Kind of level it as you are adding more silage. It's narrow enough that it can also act as a front bumper. Obviously, it is heavy enough to also act as a little bit of a front weight. Basically, raise and lower this with your mouse button, angle it however you want it. Make your pass, dumping your silage in. You can just do a little bit of pushing at the same time. As that is the DMI Metalworks S101 leveler by Dutch Modding Inc. And it is available for all platforms. Next up, we have the Aggrement VRCG, the Bregs NO12 fertilizer spreader. This mod is available for PC only and is by Nico S321. So here under fertilizing technologies, of course, we have the Kuhn Axis 40.2 EMCW fertilizer spreader, $20,000, 24 meter working width, 3,200 liter storage capacity. And now we have the RNZ NO12, this little baby fertilizer spreader, just $1,200, 450 liter storage capacity. This thing is going to be perfect for those super small fields. For the just starting out farmer, just an 8 meter working width, 8 miles per hour. $61 to lease, 12 per day, and 25 per operating hour. Up in ZTour. Nice animated clapper on the exhaust there. RPMs are lower, clapper is lower on that. The RPMs go up, the clapper raises. Let's go over and see if I have some liquid herbicide. Now, does this also hold lime? Just fertilizer. I can see if it held lime. It would have lime for about 10 seconds. Then it would use it all up. Go. Let's head down to our test field and just give this a pass on the field. 8 meter working width, so this is going to be a pretty narrow spread. The 450 liter capacity might actually go a fairly decent distance on this because of the fact that it has such a narrow working. Doesn't look too terrible bad. And the volume is going down at a pretty respectable rate. Actually, we end up fertilizing a fair bit with this little thing. The hoses to attach. PTA to run, PTO. on it because there's no lights or anything back there. So there you go, guys. That is the Aggrement VRCG N012 fertilized spreader by Nico S321. Alright, next up we have the SMS LV520T. This is a roller by DD Mod Passion, and it is also available for PC only. So if you go to Fertilizer Technology, you have the SMS LV50 or 520T fertilizer. This is simply a roller. I guess compact the ground a little bit. Maybe somehow it manages to eliminate any weeds. So we can also add some seed to this. It has a capacity of 300 or 500 tank. 6,300 liters worth of seed. 6,500 liters worth of seed. 5.2 meter working width and 12 mile per hour working speed. This will hold, or this is $23,000 to buy, $1,173 to lease, $230 per day, and $483 per operating hour. See, this will hold solid fertilizer, lime, and water. That's interesting. Up this, you can see we can hold our hoses and everything. There we go. We've got our fertilizer in there. A nice animation on that lid. Take a look at that. Let's back up here. And the cover. Ladder folds down, and then the cover screws off. You can see the threads actually on the cover there. That's pretty cool. And when we close the cover in, the cover pops on and rotates down, and then the ladder folds up. Pretty neat operation on that. So once again, head down to our test field. Give this thing a test drag through the ground. This thing looks pretty nice. Just gonna run into that. Let's unfold this. So let's unfold it. Kind of a long animation as that back kind of metal brace is removed and then remounted on this side. So if you unfold it and it doesn't start to move, you may think initially that it's broke. Really, it's just got a fairly long animation. See, we are using fertilizer. We're indeed changing the ground texture as we fertilizer out. Interesting contraption. I don't know if I guess because these rollers are grooved. If the way this works is it basically deposits the fertilizer in the groove, and then the act of rolling it basically spreads the fertilizer around the field. Let's raise it up, let's fold it up, and we'll see the animation here on the back again. Brace goes off, goes back on, and then the pins are put back into place. There you go. That is the SMS LV520T by DD Mod Passion, and this mod is available for PC only. Next up, we have the Primus Plus 250-300 cultivator. This is by Rick Black Label, Old Deutz and TWD modding. This mod is also available for PC only. So if we go to our cultivators, scrolling over here, we have Primus Plus. Oh, look at this. Completely did not even realize that we actually have some more of these rollers of the other mods. Sorry about that. So let's go back to the SMS LV 520T pack by DD Mod Passion. And take a look here at this. We have a roller that is also a cultivator. $14,000 on that one. 6,000 liter capacity. See a tank on this. We have this one that is a cultivator and fertilizer. It does include the tank and the cultivator bits. $23,000. 5.2 meter working width and 12 miles per hour. Once again, we have the ability to change from the PS 300 to the 500 tank. Changes capacity from 6,300 to 6,500 liter storage capacity. Get that one. And we're not necessarily going to pull these across. See, this one is based on the cultivator without then the fertilizing bits, the fertilizing hoses, and the tank and all. Is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool pack. There you go. Alright, so let's head back over to the Primus Plus 250-300 now by Rick Black Label, Old Deutz, and TWD modding. So this one is, as I said, for PC only. I find it here under cultivators. Primus Plus 250-300, $8,000 to buy. We have the 250 and then the 300 model, and it's basically another disc on either side. A little bit wider working width. As a result, just 50 horsepower to pull this thing. $9,200 to buy with the add-on. Make it $469 to lease. $92 per day and $193 per operating hour. So let's get our ZTour and see how well it handles. I think it's got a bit more horsepower than this cultivator needs. And that tractor is running. Zoom way out with that one too. Wow. Seriously zoom out with that one. Zoom in and just check. We have power leads or anything. We do have a power hookup. We do have lights on the back. Once again, we're going to drag her down to the field. Go. Put her down, and let's unfold it. Let's drag it through this. Put some slurry down. Okay, let's raise it up. Let's fold those discs up. Let's drop it back down. More. And let's look. So it looks like those discs on the side are purely decoration. Did not appear to add any working with to this particular implement. That is important to know. If you're going to spend that money on the upgrade to the Primus Plus 300, that basically it's not going to do any additional work for you. It's just going to look perfect. Once again, that is by Rick Black Label, full Deutz TWD modding, and is available for PC only. Alright, next up we have the Sulky Progress P100 Cedars by Simulagri modding. Some of these names. And it is also available for PC only. You're going to find this here under Cedars. Have the Sulky. Oh! Let's go back one more. Really need to have done a little bit more research on this SMS pack. Now we have a sowing in fertilizer machine that will also sow oilseed, radish, and grass. Right. Well, let's get back to the Progress P100, $48,000. 3 meter working width. This works with the Combi Plow Gold 3 meters. So this also works with this 3 meter subsoiler. Work with this Kuhn 3 meter. Well, that's a 4 meter. So it works with this Combi Plow 3 meter cultivator also. If you want to do a one and only type application, cultivates and seeds in one pass. This thing. Rather big machine just for 3 meter working width. 160 horsepower requirement. Change the main color from gray to blue. Changes the bottom there. $48,000 to buy. $2,448 lease. $480 per day. Let's get the Fendt out again. So the whole top lifts up here. Put fertilizer in the top. Let's come over here and put some seed in it. There we go. Fertilizer goes in the right bin. Seed goes into the left bin. Once again, let's head down to our test field. Give this thing a drag through the ground. And while we're going down there, let's see what does it seed. So it seeds wheat, barley, oats, canola, soybeans, oilseed radish, grass, typical grain crops. Let's see, will this seed on plowed ground, or does it need to have cultivated ground? Come on. Can and no-till this. Started on cultivated ground, and we are now seeding on plowed ground. There, guys, that is the Sulky Progress P100 Cedar by Simulagri modding. And it is available for PC only. Okay, next up we have the Emily Volcano. I believe that is how you pronounce it, by another mod by Simulagri modding, and this is a Bale shredder. So we're going to find this mod here under the animal section of tools. Go to animals. We're going to find here the Emily Volcano, $25,000 for this. Let's compare this to some other bale shredders. We've got the Kuhn Primor 15,070 for $25,000. Then we have the Warzels that are significantly cheaper than that. This one is the Volcano, $25,000, 50 horsepower requirement. We'll do, looks like hay, straw, or grass, apparently, as well as silage. Just put the bale in there, and then it kind of looks like it shreds it out the back. This is going to be kind of an interesting looking thing. Need $1,275 to lease, $250 per day, and $525 per operating hour. So this is kind of an interesting mod. We really haven't seen too many mods in the bale shredding category. There was one, I believe, in the mod contest, and then we have this one. So there's only very few, very small handful of mods that qualify in this type of a category. Our ZTour tractor, let's hook up to this. So it does require a 3-point because it uses the bottom 2 points of the 3-point connection. It does have hose connections. What we would also use are Massey Ferguson here with the pallet spike. Kind of maybe a missed opportunity here with the Massey Ferguson because it doesn't include a bale spike, it just has a pallet spike. Of course, you could use any in-game skid steer implement, should you so wish. Pick up 2 bales with these spikes. They're so long. Just lined up a little bit better. There we go. Drop that in. And let's just go down here to the test field and I'll see if I can't do a force unload on this thing. Down here, test field, that way come through later and cultivate the straw under. Hopefully we won't have to buy an animal area. Get this thing to do what it does. Lower the straw blower, let's see what that does. Just lowers the whole hitch there. Let's turn it on. And there it is. That's kind of the texture. Kind of an interesting texture indeed coming out the back of that thing. You see the belt on the bottom moving. It does have a bit of a movable floor on the bottom. There you go. That is the Emily Volcano bale shredder. Interesting mod indeed. You're looking for something that's just a little bit different to lively up your animal gameplay. That mod by Singular Agri Modding just might be the ticket. That mod is also available just for PC. Up next, we're going to take a look at the DMI Metalworks Bale trailer by DMI Metalworks. This mod is available for all platforms, and we're going to find it here under Baling Technologies. Here we are, the DMI Metalworks X, $5,499 for this interesting bale trailer. No configuration options on this. $280 to lease, $54 per day. 115 per operating hour. Let's go ahead and lease this thing up. And here we go. So we basically have a spot for 1, 2, 3, and 4 bales. So we can store basically 8 bales on this trailer. You can see they all have straps. In theory, maybe you could attach or put more bales on top. The way these are strapping basically across each of these bars, so they may not properly strap. Second layer. Only got some square bales here. I'm really not going to bother with stacking bales on here to see how well they stack or anything, just for the sake of brevity, because I am going to try to do this weekend roundup in one single video. This is a dolly trailer, so you do have that either going for it or going against it, depending on your trailer inclinations. You may or may not like dolly trailers. One advantage that these things have is the incredible turning radius. Really get these whipped around the barnyard or a field to pick up bales. But of course, the detriment, if you're not used to it, is the difficulty with backing them up. And given this super short tongue on this trailer, this one is going to be possibly really problematic to back up. So the advice I would give you is, if you've got a yard tractor that has a front hitch on it, to connect it to the front hitch. Now this particular tractor, well, the front hitch is too high for the trailer because the tongue is so short. What would make this trailer so much better, in my opinion, is if the tongue was about twice as long as it is, if not 3 times as long as it is. That would make backing this up a whole heck of a lot easier. And it would probably reduce the chances of you catching your tire, the rear tire, on the edge of the bale trailer. Guys, once again, that is the DMI Metalworks bale trailer by DMI Metalworks. That mod is available for all platforms. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Joskin Drakkar 8600 by Nicopix. This is a trailer and is also available for all platforms. We're going to find this here under trailers. So we have the Drakkar 8600 base trailer, $59,000. The capacity of 47,000 liters. And then we have the Drakkar 8600 modded trailer, $59,000, but it is 48,500 liters. It is a little bit more spacious capacity because we can basically configure a side to it. The choice of Trelleborg standard, Y tires. We can go to Michelin standard or Y tires. Nokian standard tires. Go ahead and get one of these. As configured, we're at $63,000. 3,213 leasing costs, $630 per day, and $1,323 per operating hour. So let's get a base one also to compare the two. And I'll tell you, the first thing I'm going to notice is it looks like the base one does not have hoses, but the modded one did. We also have more tire options. We have Trelleborg standard or wide as the only options. The in-game trailer. Let's go ahead and hook up to the old trailer first. As the original trailer, you can see we don't have any sort of hose connections. Open that door and raising and lowering the side. Right mouse button will raise and lower the other side, and double mouse click up and down. That's the tractor. Okay. Let's move over to the new modded variant by NecoPix. And, well, let's get a different tractor. That one did not have the hose hookups. Let's get our Deutz. This just sounds angry too, doesn't it? There we go. The hoses are indeed hooking up on this one. We have left mouse button up and down. We'll do that, left and right. That. Right mouse button, left and right. Does the side, that side too. Let's go over here and do a force unload just to see how that unloads. I suspect it's going to unload the same as the normal trailer with the push. What do you call that? The push door, push bed, whatever. Unload that. Do we have... We got doors on the bottom. I'm curious if we have the option to change that unload or not. Doesn't look like we do have that option. So that is basically the Joskin Druckar 8600 by NecoPix, and that mod is available for all platforms. Let me clean this up a little bit and we'll move on to the next mod. Alright, next up we have the Flegel TMK 266 Bull by Top Ace 888. This mod is also available for all platforms and is another trailer mod. So if we go here, we have the Flegel TMK 266 Bull, holds 40,000 liters with a choice of main color. Then we have the choice of rim color. There you go. We have Trelleborg tires, Michelin. Then we have color lateral decals of red, white, or black. If we go to white and then change our main color, something dark, you can see that, to black, then red. Capacity 32,000 liters or 40,000 liters. Overloaded. Doesn't have any change visually. Wonder if the heap just is a little bit higher on that. Not really sure. So 43,050 liters or dollars to buy, $2,195 to lease, $430 per day, and $904 per operating hour, as configured at 40,000 liters. Nice looking graphics. It's good overall. Let's go ahead and tank this over here. Let's see. Do we have... Doesn't look like we're going to have any sort of hoses. We do. Okay. We do have hoses that connect. Just appear when they connect. Like some other trailers, where we'll see them rolled up on the trailer. We have the option of tip side back or grain door. Let's go ahead and force unload on the grain door. So you can see the grain door opens up and then the whole trailer raises up. This is a trailer that lifts, and we do have, here's a rear hitch. So we could probably train these together. Maybe. That the tongue is kind of short, and that rear gate is awful long. Might have to pick something else that has a longer tongue to it to properly hook those together. And then let's tip side back. The full animation. You can kind of get a gist of how high it will dump. That'll give you a little bit of an idea with respect to those cell points that are fairly low as to if you're going to want to take that trailer into one of those cell points. So next up we have the Bosch Goliath 70D24 by Similar Agri. So that is his third mod so far in this weekend roundup. We're going to find this here under manure spreaders. Here we are, $56,000 for 24,000 liter storage capacity. That is pretty good price. So here we have a 23,000 liter storage capacity at $85,000. Here we are at 24,000 liters at $56,000. 150 horsepower requirement, 12 meter working width, and 12 mile per hour working speed. We have the choice of Trelleborg in standard or Y tires. We have multiple standard tires, so let's take a look here. So we have the kind of the Trelleborg tractor tire. Then we have a kind of a flat road tire, kind of wide. A little wider tires on that. We have kind of big overinflated tires. Back to tractor tires. Michelin, we have standard tractor tires, big wide tires. There you go. So $2,856 to lease, $560 per day, and $1,176 per operating hour. Like how we kind of have the stenciling on the metal there. That's kind of cool. We got kind of a little bit of a window there with the model name. Just going to put a little bit of manure in this. We don't need a whole lot. Do want to take this down to the test field and just see what the animation looks like unfolding, or not unfolding, but basically flinging the poo, if you will. There is no unfold on this. We don't have to open any sort of gate. You have hoses and a PTO attachment. You have ample lights on this. Let's turn it on, and there we go. Spreading the poo. Looks pretty good. Really nice particle effects on the top and the bottom of the manure spreader. So it's flinging out more poo on the bottom than it is on the top. There you go, guys. That is the Bosch Goliath 70D24 manure spreader, again by Similar Agri Modding. I believe we have one more trailer. Actually, it's another manure spreader, I believe, in the roundup this week. And then we're going to move up to our placeable area, where we've got just 3 placeable mods to take a look at. And then we're going to jump into looking at script mods for this week. So we are almost done, guys. So next up, we have the Marshall VES 2500 manure spreader. Once again, we're going to go to manure spreaders. Here we have the Marshall, $34,000 for just 10,500 liters. So that is a bit more expensive than the Farm Tech Superflex 800 at 27,500, 10,500 liters. Has a working width of 8 meters and 110 horsepower working requirement. There are no configuration options on this. Let's go ahead and lease this up $1,734 to lease, $340 per day, and $714 per operating hour. Let's see if we have our hose hookups. No hose hookups. Do have lights though, so we should get a power hookup, if anything, on this. It's a little disappointing with this mod. We don't have that. Just have some problems this evening. Just to fill. What's up with that? And we saw the other one just filled just fine and dandy. Not getting the fill on this, so that is a little concerning. I'm not going to be able to demonstrate this mod, flinging the poo, because I can't fill it from my silo. There we go. We can X to unfold it. We lift the door, and at that point we can turn it on. We'll start flinging the poo. A little disappointed that we didn't get to demonstrate this particular manure spreader. Okay, guys, that is going to do us for our vehicles and implements. Like I said, I'm going to be right back with you guys once we reset and get ready to start talking about our placeables and scripts. Alright guys, first up in our placeables section we have the Osborne Bowl by Mapper's Paradise. This mod is available for all platforms, and we're going to find it here under, let's see here, decoration. I believe, yep, we have the Osborne Bowl in blue, rust, and wood. $2,000 a piece for this thing, and it's, well, basically just a giant bull sign. Let's go ahead and put this down here. There we have the blue one. We have the rust, and then have the wooden sign. So it basically spins on its center axis. And then at night, the eyes apparently glow. We have the giant wooden bowl, and I have to say, that is some massive grain. For those boards to be that wide, a sign that's tall, that is a massive, massive tree. That is a massive knot right there in that wood. I mean, that is probably like size of half the size of me. It's probably like a 3-foot wide knot. Yeah, it'd be nice to have seen this with much narrower boards, given the size of this bowl. Here we kind of have a blue type of a surface here. This one is clearly supposed to be a steel bowl that's kind of rusted over. There you go, guys. That is the Osborne Bowl, which is apparently a famous Spanish landmark. $2,000 a day and costs, or $2,000 to buy, and costs you $100 a day in maintenance just to have the bowl on the map. Okay, so next up we have the Old Styled Farmhouse with Barn by DMI 20 mm Normandy. We're going to find that here under farmhouses, of all things. Rotate it here on it, basically its center. Go ahead and put it down. So since this is a farmhouse, you can only have one of these on the map at any one point in time. Check our F1 menu. You can see we do have a sleep trigger associated with the house. Sleep trigger on the front and the back. Place it down, it does change the textures a little bit. We have kind of a gravel texture up close to the building. And then we have side, have a large machine shed. So $200,000 buys us a very large single-sided machine shed. So we just have this pair of double doors, sliding door in order to get into the shed. But $200,000 buys us both a big machine shed to store our vehicles and implements. Store hay in here. We can store pretty much anything we wanted in here. And a sleep trigger. So one placeable could be your entire farm if you were doing a start from scratch or do our farm manager mode type gameplay. So again, this is the old-styled farmhouse with barn by DMI 20mm Normandy, and it is available for all platforms. Now, I'm going to have to sell this because we need basically to have room to put down the next mod, which is the Tyrolean farmhouse. And we're going to find it here under farmhouses for $110,000. We'll rotate this. Rotates here on its center. Put it over here by the bull. There we go. This mod is by Stud Troller Bauer. Okay, so it's in the lower right. That is who the mod author is. And this is available for all platforms. Just like the other mod, we walk into here. Let's get in. Can't go inside. It'd have an interior. So, interesting enough, the sleep trigger here is around the back. Okay. I'm wondering if that is maybe bleed over. Maybe the bedroom is around the back. Try to get inside yet one more time. Sideways. Squat down. Check and see, do we have any sort of collision there? There we go. Kind of had to run to get in. Okay, so now I'm in. Must be too big. Here we can get the sleep trigger in the kitchen. Interesting. Trigger around the back. Not on any of the bedrooms. What you would think would be the bedrooms. Getting around this is a little tight. And the sleep trigger here around the back. Guys, that is the Tyrolean farmhouse. It is available for all platforms. All right, next up, we've got a script mod. We have added realism for vehicles. This is a mod that is available for PC only, and I'm not really sure how to properly demonstrate this. Let me basically just read the directions, or read a little bit of the description, and then maybe we'll just drive one of these or a couple of these tractors around a little bit to kind of get maybe a feel for how maybe they behave a little bit different. But basically this mod is by 900 Hassie. It is PC only because it is a script mod. And what this description says is this. The goal of this mod is to make the game feel more realistic and customizing the vehicle for the taste more rewarding. The goal is to make the mod universal. This mod supports multiplayer and dedicated servers. No changes in XML is needed. Some data from the XML is overwritten. So for wheels, base game many vehicles do not take the tire type into consideration. With making an example, the Lizard pickup receives unrealistic high friction on all ground types. This mod fills in the missing data based on tire track index, making it universal. Different tire types now act completely different on different ground types and suffers differently on rain and sinking into the ground. This mod only supports the 4 standard tire types: mud, street, off-road, and crawlers. Interesting enough. Calculates friction based on the size of the tire, making wide tires, duals, and tracks worth the money for heavy field work, but narrows suffers, making it ideal for easier tasks in later growth state. Adds rolling and sideway resistance, meaning that more wheel load, small tires, and soft ground, more force needed in pulling and pushing, and less wheel load for larger tires and hard ground, less force needed for pulling and pushing. Now, it also adds gearbox functionality. This mod creates a simple gearbox for the vehicle based on min-max RPM, max speed allowed. Overwrites any gear ratios in the XML. Change the speedometer gauge from speed to engine RPM. And clutch slip after gear change to give smoother gear change. So pulling force for plows, cultivators, and sowing machines is affected by ground type. Interesting. I already see we are getting completely different interaction here with our tractor. Let's get this here. So let's listen to the engine now. We're going to go full throttle. We're kind of shifting. Very slowly picking up speed. Do have maybe kind of the more concept of tire slip. Tires are possibly sinking into the ground a bit more on this plowed terrain. Over here where we maybe have something that is not plowed, and we'll see how it handles. Here we have between plowed and harvested ground. So we have tire slip. Let's jump down to something else completely different. We're here are the Deutz. You can see the tachometer bouncing there in the center of the gauge. It's no longer based on kind of a flat speed. First gear, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9. There you go. I mean, in theory, I mean, you could, obviously, we can demonstrate this a whole lot more if we would probably hook up some different implements, drag it through different types of ground, see different resistances. In theory, the big problem I have with a lot of these gearboxes, maybe it's different in modern tractors. My tractor driving experience is easily 25 years old at this point, maybe even 30 years old. Gosh, I don't remember. But at any rate, it was quite a long time ago. Driving tractors made much longer ago than that. And that tractor transmissions at that point weren't sequential. You didn't go from first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, for example, or you didn't go, one first through sixth in low range and then jump to high range or anything like that. Basically, you could start off in third gear if you wanted to, if you weren't pulling a heavy load, and you get up on the road, you drop her into fifth, and there you go, third to fifth, and you're done. 2 shifts or 1 shift, basically from stationary to top speed. Then if you had an actual heavy load, then you might start off in second gear, or if you really had a heavy load, you would start off in first, which literally just got the tractor rolling. Then you drop it down into second, and then you might get up not super fast speed, but you'd get up, some nice momentum, and then you might drop it into fourth, and then drop it into fifth. There you go, this ZTour. So I think this is a mod that is going to appeal to a very small subset of players. I have heard some folks complaining that under a heavy load, you'll get a real bad stutter driving effect. And basically the way to fix that is to disable the gearbox aspect of this mod. Guys, that is, again, the Added Realism for Vehicles mod by 900 Hasse, and it is available for PC only. So what we're going to do now is basically get ready to do the 1 Seasons Geo analysis, and then we're going to wrap this video up. So I'll be right back with you in Video Editor. So the Seasons Geo that we have to look at today is the Romania Seasons Geo, and that is in the lower right, whereas the standard Geo is reflected in the upper left. What we are seeing is the harvest and plant schedule. Now that is kind of the easiest and quickest way to compare these Geos. If you look at the standard Geo again in the upper left, you'll see we basically have all of spring to plant our wheat, barley, oats, and canola. We also have all of spring to plant potatoes and sugar beets, and we have to wait till 41 degree ground temp for our wheat and barley. Oats are 43 degrees, canola is at 41, and as is potatoes and sugar beets. Now if we look at the Romania Geo, we can't plant anything until the start of mid-spring, and we need to wait until our ground temps are 45 degrees. Now I use the Fahrenheit measurement because that is what I am accustomed to. So for wheat, barley, and oats, as well as canola, potatoes, and sugar beets, we've got to wait till the ground temp is 45 degrees and in mid-spring. Now we've got to get our planting done by the end of spring for pretty much all of our crops other than soybeans. We can actually extend our soybean planting into early summer, but we are going to also be busy potentially with harvest as early summer. While we can't plant until mid-spring, we do have the potential to get crop off the fields as early summer, I assume, if we planted those in autumn. But we basically have a very narrow and early harvest schedule of harvesting during summer for our wheat and barley, as well as canola. We have just early and mid-summer to get that off the fields. And then the rest of our crops, we have autumn to harvest. So we can harvest our oats, sunflowers, soybeans, corn, potatoes, and sugar beets, all in the autumn time frame. Now we only can plant wheat and barley in early autumn and mid-autumn. If we're not done planting by mid-autumn, then we are basically done until mid-spring as far as getting that crop into the ground. And canola is the only other plant crop that we can actually plant into the ground or seed into the ground in the fall. That starts at the end of summer, and we can plant it into early autumn. But again, if we're not done planting by the end of early autumn, well, that's tough luck, because that is actually the only time that we can plant canola, and that is late summer and early autumn. So you're not going to get any canola off of your fields the first year. So guys, that is going to do us for this weekend's Weekend Roundup. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite mod released this week? And until next time, happy farming.